Flying over Kenya is like looking at a great tapestry woven by nature. From the window of the plane, extensions of green, yellow, and blue are visible, showing an authentic natural treasure. Unfortunately, Kenya will be one of the countries that will suffer the most from climate change, with an increase of 2.5 degrees of temperature by 2050. The desertification advances more and more, and if we don't do something, it will soon be very difficult to live in this wonderful country. My name is Sebastián Castro, and I have come to Kenya to see what can be done to restore all of its splendor.
What would bring somebody from Costa Rica to Nairobi?
Well, I'm here to do a documentary on acacia gum.
Which tree did you say?
Acacia.
Which variety? Because there are so many. I know of a good 38 varieties or so.
Maybe you should be doing the documentary.
As humans, we tend to forget, in our hectic city lives, the reality of the changes that our planet is going through. Countries like Sudan, Ethiopia, and Kenya have already started to realize the importance of environmentalism. More and more people are finding creative solutions to this problem.
Hello, morning. Hi, how are you? Welcome.
In 2016, Keri Kinjanjui and Elsen Karstad founded Seed Balls Kenya, dedicated to fight against desertification with two very simple tools, seeds and coal dust.
How is the technique of the actual seed ball?
So the basic concept behind all of this had been, how do we mimic natural regeneration of forests? So we've seen over the years in different parts of Kenya, there's certain conditions that actually allow trees to come back naturally by themselves. So that got me thinking, okay, well, let me do some experiments with direct seeding. And when I came back for the first follow-up, we found that almost all of the seeds had been eaten by birds or mice or squirrels or whatever. So that's when I started looking up, how do you actually pelletize seeds to protect them from being eaten? Okay, so as you see, it's a seed in the middle of the charcoal dust. And then once it rains enough, these melt off completely, and then the seed goes back to being in its natural state. And hopefully it germinates or gets buried in the soil, because a lot of the dryland acacia trees are very dormant, and they can stay dormant up to 5 to 10 years waiting for the right conditions.
So Teddy, how many types of seed balls are there?
Currently we're doing 14 different species. 3 of those are grass seeds and 11 of those are tree seeds.
How big is your impact so far? How many seed balls have you planted?
So far we've been able to do just over 6 million.
As an NGO, Seed Balls Kenya depends mostly on external donations to continue with their activities. Some of these come from individuals, but others, the larger ones, from companies.
Teddy, do you remember how you found out OCB wanted to make a donation?
Yeah, so I just regular morning kind of got into the office, checking emails. Wait a minute, what's this email? OCB, it's the rolling paper company. So then I really thought, what do they have to do with anything? And so anyway, as we answered back and started discussing with them, it made perfect sense. And I didn't actually know this, because I knew with gum arabic it's used for 1,000,001 different things. But I never knew it was the sticky bit on the rolling papers that makes them stick. So once we found that out, it made perfect sense.
I'm here. I came all the way here to actually go explore Kenya and see how it is impacting the lives of all these people and how it is actually having such a big consequence on the environmental mission that Kenya is having. So
good.
Let's go explore this 6 million
excellent.
trees.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, good.
This is one of the strongest calf from the north. The name is called Yellow Beast. Crossing all over the north. We are going long distance.
Good, we are ready to go, to hit the road.
We started really seeing a lot of natural regeneration happening, especially on the highways and on the sides of the roads. In the construction industry, they use a lot of river sand, and when they dig up the river sand, it has tree seeds in it. So as that lorry is driving, or the truck is driving on the highway, some of the seeds are being blown out in the wind. So that got me thinking, okay, well, let me do some experiments with direct seeding.
Kenya is home to 25,000 species of animals and over 7,000 species of plants. Roaming its lands, forests, and savannas means entering one of the most biologically fascinating countries on Earth, where lions, elephants, and giraffes will be my hosts.
Deshan, tell me a little bit more about where we are.
We are in Samburu National Reserve. This park, you can find very unique animals, not like any other park.
Have you seen a progression of desertification?
The weather is changing. Rain should be here, heavy in Samburu, but the rain stopped.
And what do you think can or should be done?
There are many ways you can prevent. First, education of the local. People to be taught to do zero grazing. Second is to teach people how to plant trees.
It's hard to think that all this wealth is under threat, but it certainly is. In Kenya, people live together with nature, surrounded by it. And that's why, if nature is threatened, so are we.
You truly feel in Africa when you end up changing wheels to 40 degrees at midday. Teddy, you brought me here to this area of the South Hore. Why is that?
So this area is a very interesting sort of bit where there's a huge dynamic of between climate change and things like overgrazing. It's going through desertification, and some of these bits are sort of this classic symptoms of loss of vegetation. So when it rains, the water flows off really quickly, but in the dry season it blows away, wind erosion, the soil, topsoil. So areas like this are really on the forefront of where ecosystems are changing to being drier and harsher and harder to live in and harder to sustain life.
How about the people, the locals? Are they paying the price?
When you ask them, especially the older generations, how was everything here when you were young? And they'd be able to say, you know, the rains were more regular. We were able to actually count on 4 years would be decent rains with 1 year drought. Someone told me the other day it's completely changed. It's 1 year of good rains and 4 years of drought. And so that makes life, you know, very, very hard for lots of people.
Teddy, what's the plan?
Okay, so the plan for today is we've got 4 donkeys waiting for us and a dozen people from the local community around here who've all volunteered to help to come and plant a whole bunch of seed balls. And the reason we're actually doing it in this area was this had been a farm once, but it didn't work out. But they'd cut down the trees to make the farm. So now that the community would really like to see all of these trees come back for all of the different things they use them for. Na kitu ambayo si chakula ya wanyama ama dudu, so tunatumia hii waste, hii fumbi ya makaa kufunga.
Nasema hii miti ni important.
So a place now we want to plant is already a desert. So we want to put it back how it was before.
This one.
Nature provides, and it's about time we give something in return. Often, when we talk about climate change and desertification, we see humans as the only problem. However, I believe this is testament that we can also be part of a creative solution. The Samburu are semi-nomadic shepherds of the Maasai family who live on their herds of goats, sheep, and camels in a land where acacias rise like pillars that support the sky.
Jackson, can you walk me step by step through the process of picking up the acacia all the way till it comes here?
It is a long process. So it starts from the walking distance to the where acacia are. Then you pick using your donkeys and other colleagues or friends to assist you. After collecting the gum, you still come back from that long distance to the nearest market along the village. When we reach the market, each person sells according to the size of the gum. If I collect 2 kilos or 3 kilograms of this gum, also exchange with a kilo of sugar, rice, unga, or even fat cooking oil. So that is now the last process that you can even take the items and you go back home.
Mike, tell me a little bit about the medicinal uses of Acacia Senegal.
Acacia Senegal is useful to Samburu people in different ways. One, we use it as medicine to treat malaria and typhoid. You remove the bark from the tree, you put it in a container containing water, you crush it, and then you drink. You drink it and you induce vomiting.
And then the
malaria comes out.
Huh.
Yeah. You can even sell it
make a lot of money.
as glue.
As glue?
As glue, yeah. When it flowers, we harvest a lot of honey. We are very good beekeepers.
Beekeepers?
Yes. Like myself, I have 4.
And do you commercialize the honey? Or
Yes,
is it for own
we
consumption?
eat honey and we sell. We sell a lot.
So honey, medicinal purposes, food for animals,
and humans.
Wow.
That's why it's very important to Samburu people. This tree is very important.
All tribes in Kenya play an essential role in the preservation of their ecosystems. Our day with the Samburu has come to an end, but our trip through this wonderful land is just beginning. Abdi, you have quite an entrepreneurial spirit. You come from a northern tribe of nomads. However, you started this business, Northern Gum Limited. Tell me a little bit more about it.
I've got agents all over northern Kenya. I always tell them I can only come if it's 700 to 800 kilos. That makes the trip worth it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you buy per ton, almost.
Per ton. And even when you taste this, it's so sweet.
Abdi, you're an expert at this, but did you know this is actually going in the long run and ends up here, rolling papers halfway around the world in Europe?
No idea. This is new to me. 100% gum Arabic, 100% natural. Wow. It's really gum.
It's gum.
It's gummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the applications go even beyond the source nose. It's fascinating.
I had no idea.
We traveled to Nanyuki at the foothills of Mount Kenya. From there, we followed the acacia gum's path once it is collected.
It's wonderful to be here and see the whole process taking shape.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get the gum, it is brought here, and what do you do with it?
When the gum is brought here, it is brought in big bulks or in big sacks. What happens here is the cleaning, just the way you can see these women doing. It is cleaning or rather shorting out the first grain.
What is your role?
My role here is supervision and managing the stock. to make sure that what is screened and what is ready for the market is purely clean.
And it seems that this is a really relevant commodity for this community. What does it mean? What is its significance for you?
To us here, we use it to empower women, or even to have women do something for themselves. It gives me a lot of sense of purpose and a lot of meaning in our lives, because we get our daily bread from here and we make our living from here.
Catherine, the time of truth, show me how it's done.
Now you can see something like this one. This one looks green, but it has a problem. There is a black thing, and we need to remove that and make it first grade.
Okay, let me know how I'm doing it, yeah?
The acacia gum, or Arabic gum, is extracted from the tree without damaging it. It is called the desert gold. Planting acacia trees in large tracts of land can be used to prevent desert encroachment and even reclaim desert land.
The land seems pretty extremely dry. Is this what desertification looks like?
Yeah, this is the beginning. As you see, there are only the trees left. All the lower vegetation, the grasses and stuff is gone. So as soon as that cycle starts going faster and faster, it gets more and more into a desert.
So what happens when the big rains come?
So you can imagine now, especially these days with, the climate changing and stuff, when big rains come, it comes all at once in a really, really short period. And, it used to sort of be at least a little bit slower so it could soak in. So now when it rains a lot, it just hits the ground, floods off downstream.
Yesterday, Teddy, we did some planting. This is a pretty far off place. How do you bring seed balls where there's no road access?
Yeah, so for areas where there's no road access, really remote, far away, but there's still been some sort of land degradation, we've found that doing aerial seeding is a really incredible way of covering massive amounts of land in a very quick time.
Teddy,
yeah.
Where are we traveling today, mate?
Okay, so today we're going to go just south of Nairobi. It's a 20-minute flight, or what would have been a 3.5-hour drive each way.
Approximately how many seeds are we going to throw?
We're going to drop out about 40,000 tree seeds. Of those, the number that we expect to become big trees should be within 10 to 20% of all of those, because it's in a pretty wild dry land area.
So we're going to be planting around 4,000 trees in one day.
In 20 minutes, not even in one day, yeah.
We have a box underneath the aeroplane which basically guides the airflow from a slow airflow to a fast airflow, which causes suction. And this suction sucks the seed balls out behind the plane. We have a handle inside where you can open and close it from. Yeah, that's basically it.
Kenya is a breathtaking country. This year, however, the rains came late. Signs that climate change will result in a harsher, drier season. Its recent past has seen some of the worst deforestation rates worldwide, but all is not lost. New techniques and ecologically minded organizations such as Seedballs Kenya and OCB give me hope that with a common purpose and creativity, we may just be able to restore the environment. It is mankind's duty to recover that which has been lost. And with each seed ball that is thrown, I am confident that Kenya will be restored to its natural green splendor.